Here we have a book called Land of the Burnt Thigh, and it was written in 1938, and it appears to be a book about homesteading on the prairie during the Great Depression. And so we're going to learn a little bit about how to read here. Let's see if I can make the print a little bigger. A shack on the prairie is the name of the chapter. A shack is a roughly built hut or cabin, okay. And you know what a prairie is? That's like the rolling grasslands. A large open area of grass, especially in the Mississippi River Valley. Okay, here we are at sunset. What is sunset? It's when the sun is going down. The time in the evening when the sun disappears or daylight fades. At sunset, we came up out of the draw. That's out of the draw. A draw is like a valley. Let's look it up. Define. I don't expect you to know that word. Look it up in Wiktionary. Because it isn't in a lot of dictionaries. It's kind of an old word. Maybe it's archaic. Let's see here. To sketch, to introduce, to interfere. Let's see. Let's see. Where is the word draw here? Are all of these verbs? Let's see. Noun. Let's see. It would be a noun that we're looking for. There's the poker term. Out of the draw. So we're not finding it there either. So we've got a hard word here. Okay, I'm going to look out of the draw. Sight. He started crawling on his belly out of the draw to the crest of the hog's back. Okay. A whooping, they came up out of the draw. Let's just put define out of the draw. Well, we're just going to say, so we can't find that word, we're going to say that it means in the valley that out of the draw, the water is drowned down, and they came up out of the draw. Okay, at sunset, we came up out of the draw to the crest of the ridge. Crest, that's like the top. Let's see. I can see why you have so much trouble in English. Okay. The crest of the hill, the summit, peak, top, tip, pinnacle, brow, crown, apex. Okay. Of the ridge, that's like of the like the edge of the mountain. A long, narrow hilltop, mountain range, or watershed. Okay, so at sunset we came up out of the draw to the crest of the ridge, perched on the high seat of the old spring wagon. Okay, first of all, they're sitting on a wagon. It's a vehicle used for transport. But I think they're more or less talking about a covered wagon. So we're going to look up covered wagon so you know what that is. Yeah, see, there's a covered wagon, and they pull those with horses. See, so perched. Okay, perch is they're sitting. See, perched. Okay, a thing on which a bird alights or roosts. Okay, a place where someone or something rests, or I'm looking for the word sits. A place where someone or something rests or sits, especially a place that is high or precarious. Maureen looked down from her perch in a beech tree above the road. Okay, so now see, he's perched. Now see, he's sitting high, perched on the high, high as opposed to low. Something, okay, high seat. Of course, we know what the seat is. That's what you sit on. Could be a chair, could be a stool. Here in the covered wagon, see, it's like they sit like right there. See where this person is sitting? It's not a very good view. But let's see. They're sitting on the front. Okay, so perched on the high seat of the old spring wagon. Now, why do they say spring? I don't think it has to do with the season of the year. This has to do with there are springs underneath the wagon. So see these wheels? They're sitting on springs. That's my guess. Sitting on springs, and so it's not as rocky of a ride as you might think. It's an old wagon, but it's a spring wagon. We looked into a desolate land. Okay, they looked out into the land that's around them, the part of the Earth's surface that's not covered by water, so it's dry. They're looking out onto the dirt, and it's a desolate land. It means not many people living there. Deserted of people, in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness. We looked into a desolate land which reached to the horizon. Okay, the horizon is the edge of where the sky meets the land. The line at which the Earth's surface and the sky appear to meet. The sun rose above the horizon. On every side. Prairie, that's the grassland. Large open area of grassland, which had lain untouched. Okay, so person can lay down, but lain is You can also use it for prairie, the land. Land, prairie, which had lain untouched. Okay, what does this mean, untouched? Unspoiled, like they didn't plow it to farm for farmland. It's like the grassland that has not been cut by a plow. Prairie, which had lain untouched since the creation. That's when the earth was created, save for buffalo and roving bands of Indians. So that means that the buffalo had been out there eating on the grass, and the roving bands of Indians had been out there. Roving means traveling. Roving is travel constantly without a fixed destination, wander. So you got these Indians who don't really live in one spot, but they travel in teepees. Bands, that's not a musical band, that's a group of people. Number 2, a group of people who have a common interest or purpose. Of Indians, that's the Native Americans. An indigenous people, that's the people who lived here first. It's brown grass, scorched. Okay, we talked about, didn't they say green grass earlier? No, they didn't. They just said prairie. It's brown grass. Okay, so now they're talking about that this land, it was untouched, but now the grass is brown. It looks like they need warm rain. It's brown. Of course, brown is that dark color. How do you describe brown? Yeah, that color. Okay. It's brown grass, scorched. That means like burnt by the sun. Burnt surface of something with flame or heat. And crackling, that's a sound. Crisp, let's see. Crackle, sizzle, fizz, hiss, crack, snap, sputter. Okay, it's a sound. Okay, if you think of what grass or hay would sound like if you threw it in the campfire from the sun. Of course, the sun is the star that up in the sky. No trees. I hope you know what a tree is. No trees to break the endless monotony. Okay, what is monotony? It's a lack of variety and interest, so they're bored. Endless means more or less having no end or limit, just continual monotony, or to provide a moment's respite from the sun. Okay, what is respite? Respite is a short period of rest or relief. So now we're going to have the computer read that sentence, paragraph.
At sunset we came up out of the draw to the crest of the ridge, perched on the high seat of the old spring wagon. We looked into a desolate land which reached to the horizon on every side. Prairie which had lain untouched since the creation, save for buffalo and roving bands of Indians. Its brown grass scorched and crackling from the sun. No trees to break the endless monotony or to provide a moment's respite from the sun.
Okay, so that's our time. Let me know if you have any questions.